Well, there's no doubt we're living in the digital world.
Technology doesn't just entertain us or keep us connected. It can also help us manage our chaotic lives.
Yeah, we visited with her via satellite before. Alison Jacobson is known as a safety mom.
That's right.
Good to see Alison.
It's just kind of weird that it's not you somewhere else.
We usually see you on the screen right there, but you came in last night,
That's right.
From the East Coast.
That's right, and went for the best steak dinner I've ever had.
Did
Of
you?
course.
Well, there's a few of those places around town.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this. Using technology, and I'm one of these guys, I'm kind of a gadget guy, and I use technology in my home.
Right.
How do you recommend using it in people's homes with all the technology out there?
I especially have to say, people with kids, they say, technology and the internet, it's so bad, but it's not. And it's not going anywhere, and we need to embrace it. And our kids are digital natives. They've grown up with it, they get it. So the first thing is, start talking to your kids about what they know. Find out from them, and start embracing the technology and using it to help manage your house when you're away, at work, whatever.
And you're a mom. Right? So
Mom,
what are you doing?
3 kids, 2 step kids.
Nice.
So we are all over the place. And I mean, when I come home from work, I am cooking dinner, I am ordering Christmas presents, my kids are watching TV, my husband's watching TV. So trying to manage it all is absolutely crazy. And that's when we get into speed. So, you're a geek guy, right? You get
it. I've got
She's
I don't know.
a geek.
That's fine. She's right. She nailed it.
Okay.
But I don't know how many devices I've got
Right.
attached to my internet.
Yeah.
I've seen the rundown on my router. I think there's 10 of them.
Well, the statistic is there's 6 devices in the home going at any time, and by 2017 there's going to be 11.
Wow.
And that, people don't understand, and especially as a woman, I'm like, speed. You're hearing all about that. What does it matter? But it does, because if you want to be watching those shows and your kids want to be doing something at school and I want to be ordering things online, you've got to have the speed, and that's where the gigabits come in.
Okay, so that's the catchphrase?
Yes.
Or as a consumer, because I get confused by words sometimes.
Right.
Like, what does this all mean?
Exactly.
So what are we seeing here, Allison? And help us appreciate the difference.
Well, look at that. So gigabits makes things go faster. And especially if you have all those devices running, that's when it can go really slow. Now, Cox especially has gigabits being offered in a lot of their markets, but no matter what, there's some sort of package. Now, not everybody needs it that fast, so you need to figure out and see, how do you use technology in your home?
Right.
And you can get the Cox Ultimate package, which is speeds up to 300. So you can download movies in like 2.5 minutes.
Oh, you're kidding. Because some of those downloads, if you don't have that type of speed, it takes hours.
Forget it.
I was talking at dinner last night. Remember just years ago when you'd download a picture and you'd see it come little by little by little?
Right.
It would
It's like,
just
okay.
show up. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what gigabits does. It makes it go faster.
And I've got these kids, they've got their devices, they've got their iPads, and they're watching movies, on whatever streaming service it is. And if you get several of those kids doing that, it really slows things down. Let's talk about things that you can use in the house. I mean, you've got things that can turn on the alarms, you can devices that can also turn off lights.
Well, that's what I like about Cox. So not only are they talking gigabits, they have Cox Home Life. Now, we're all traveling. You have kids at home, I know. When my kids come home from school, they're walking into an empty house, which makes me nervous. I can set alarms with Cox Home Life so I know when the door opens. Or if it doesn't open and for something happened and they didn't get home on the bus, I'll know. I'll also can check in. So when you think about it, too, we've got a lot of things going on in the house with teenagers. Maybe they're doing their homework. Maybe they're having a friend over.
Right.
These are all things I can check. But I also live with my mom. She's older. If something happens, I want to be alerted immediately. If she wanders, if she falls, and that's what's great about Cox Home Life. I can manage my entire home and save money. Because I can turn down my thermostats. We have beautiful days like today, but then it's going to get to be 50.
Yeah. So if you're gone from the house, you can't turn your thermostat down, you're wasting energy.
Exactly.
So how does it work that when you come in and you get Home Life, do they wire everything up so that your thermostat, or do you have to get new everything to make it all speak together?
Well, and that's what's beautiful. If you're a Cox customer, you already have it, and it all works off your phone. I mean, we're not going to need anything anymore but our phone, right? Like, we're just going to control the world from our phone.
It's pretty great.
So there's an app, and you can actually try it for free to download it and just check it out, which is great. And you can control your lights. So if your kids are coming home now that it's daylight savings time, you don't want it to be dark, you can turn on your lights, or even for your dogs.
Yeah. Is the security part of this too? Because we're talking about managing the home and taking care of a lot of those things. But then there's also this point about making sure that if something happens while you are away, that you know about it, or that you're deterring criminals to begin with.
I mean, people generally get the system first for the burglary and the theft, but then it's all the other things you can do to manage your home, which makes it so easy. And as a mom, anywhere you can save time, Thank goodness, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Let's talk about our kids for a second, because I don't trust my kids. I do not trust them.
And
But-
good for you.
Right, I know. But how often are parents checking in on their teens?
Well, here's what's really interesting. Over 68% of us are leaving our kids alone, our tweens or teens, at least once or twice a week, and that's just common. 42% of us want to check in by camera to see what they're doing, and rightfully so, because you don't know. So 70% of us depend on those mobile phones to really see what's going on with them. And you're right. There is something that says if your teen likes you, you're doing something wrong.
Right. But you're saying when you say 70%, that might be just texting. That's not necessarily being able to drop in on them digitally.
That's right.
And see whether they're at the table doing their
I
homework.
like this stat right here, too.
80% of parents. Now, I don't care if they say, oh, you're being big brother checking in. That's right, because they are going to behave better if they know you're looking in. And maybe they won't have the boyfriend over, or they may be not getting into a fight and killing each other. So you're right. That is why it's important to have something like this.
The website, Cox.com, is that the best place to learn about like the 100 to 300 times faster stuff and home life?
Everything. You can go to Cox.com, you can learn about wireless, you can learn about gigabits, you can learn about Cox Home Life, all of it. But the thing is, not all of us need gigabits right now, but what's nice about Cox is you have the choice. And get an ISP that allows you to upgrade when you do need it.
Yeah, and I think there's tests out there that you can test your speed on your network.
Exactly, exactly. So see how your family uses it. Get to understand it, but have that choice. That's what it's about.
All right, Alison, it's so cool to have you here.
Let's see in person.
Next
Yeah.
time,
See in person,
when
right?
we say to our viewers, the safety mom's joining us, and you'll know, hey, she was in a lot. Exactly. She loves our safe. Thanks, Alison.
And travel safe,
Appreciate
too.
it. Yesterday.